Hi everyone, and welcome to season 2, episode 1 of the Fighting Dementia podcast. I'm here with Fran, Tom, and Cherylnn. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So it's being called season 2 because this is kind of like a refresh of the podcast. I think we've really understood what we're trying to do, and we're really lucky to have Cherylnn with us, who I describe as the Fairy Godmother of the podcast because
She
you
certainly
are
is.
the founder of the Sedgemoor on-set group, where I met all of you 2 years ago now, about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And so without you, none of this would have happened, and we're going to get onto your stories in a bit. So yeah, welcome. So I thought we'd include you in this little bit of the conversation in terms of...
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, great.
Pleasure to have you here, darling.
Thank you, Fran.
So yeah, I think what we've really learnt about the show, and we were just talking before we started about your favourite bits of season 1 so far, and there was stuff about what people have learnt, but then also hearing the stories of people living with dementia and seeing you guys basically crack on with having dementia. And I think that's a big part of what we want to focus on is behaviour change and what you can do in your own life, whether it's mild cognitive decline or in the early stages of dementia, to actually continue to live well, because you're 5.5 years since diagnosis, Tom.
Yeah.
You're 7.5 years?
Yeah, I think so.
8 next month. Wow. Unbelievable.
Oh, well done,
And
you. Yeah, no, that's brilliant.
And you've just, we were just talking about what we've been doing over the summer, and you've taken up golf again.
Yeah, love it. Been enjoying it.
Yeah. Still working in a pub,
Yep.
I think, every
Not
day.
drinking though, just
Yeah.
cleaning.
And you did a 26k,
27.
27k, sorry, excuse me.
Bike ride, yeah.
Yes, get it
27K.
right.
Hey,
Bike
what's the
ride.
difference?
2 hours and 21 minutes.
Yeah.
It was all downhill, thank God.
Exactly.
It was all uphill.
So I think that, the first part of each week of the podcast, we're going to really talk about behaviour change and how we can spread that message of all the things we can do. Over the summer, I've been reading this book, which is called The Ageless Brain, which is by Dr. Dale Bredesen. And he is and I'll just read it because it's easier. He's an expert in the mechanisms of neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. And he's also written another couple of books about reversing Alzheimer's. And this whole book
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. And this whole book is about how you can have the same brain you do at 100 as you do at 40. And obviously his specialism is in like neurodegeneration. And that's what we want to get across in the podcast is like, and talk about and discuss, especially through the lens of you two guys, is like, what can you do in your life to fight the reverse, fight dementia basically, and what behaviours can you do from either mild cognitive decline or being diagnosed from that moment? What can you do to make sure that you get a load more quality years in your life, which you guys are living, breathing testament that if you do make changes, then you can live well with dementia.
I think it's how quickly you're diagnosed and how quickly the person who's treating you or looking after you is aware of all the mechanisms around dementia and Alzheimer's and all the other types of dementia. If they're knowledgeable and, the other teams they have around them who are helpful, like Cherylnn and your group and everybody, I think that increases your span. I can't call it lifespan. It increases your span of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Good years, great years.
Yeah. More time, basically. And I think that's down to the people who are caring for you, looking after you, and the medical profession who are aware and got enough knowledge to direct us in the right way.
Absolutely. Would you agree with that, Tom?
Well, our doctor's good, yeah. I would. But our doctor's really good. When we get to see the same one all the time, he's fine because he's right on the ball. But you don't always get to see the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do agree with Fran says, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
And in terms of behaviour change, I think...
don't go there.
I think, a lot of this...
What have you been up to, Tom?
Well, I can't remember. You have to ask Marion.
Has he been in the cupboard, Marion?
Marion's Tom's wife, who's off camera, by the way, just for those listening in. But yeah, I think whether you see it as behaviour change or not, you have gone through a lot of behaviour change, like getting involved in the Sedgemoor group.
Yeah,
looking.
If it wasn't for the Sedgemoor group, I don't think we'd be around. I'd be around now. That and my job keeps me going. I look forward to going every month, just to annoy people. It's just one of them things.
It's such a nice place.
Yeah, me and Phil got on great.
Yeah, you've made good friends, haven't you, in the group?
Yeah, you're a bit of a nutter like me.
I think it's that community, isn't it, Cherylnn, that is like has absolutely inspired me. And it's in all the research as well, like social isolation and loneliness, especially when you get dementia, is going to pull you back from society. And the community that you've created is just unbelievable in terms of...
It's fantastic. I love the group. I love doing it every month.
Yeah.
You know, it's seeing people thriving. Like me and Fran were having a conversation on the way up here.
Yeah.
You know, Tom was a little bit more quiet when he first joined. And now he's a bit more outgoing, I'd say. And he comes with new jokes every month for me. But we won't share them.
No.
I don't think they've got a bleeper.
They're not that bad. Could be worse.
They could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
If allowed.
Yeah.
And that's really going to be the whole point of like getting in experts, but also hearing from others who are part of the group or others who just want to come on and share their experience of living with dementia, whether that's, you know, as someone who's living with it or their carer or spouse or whatever. And I think there's just so much to be done and so much knowledge to be shared about what you can do. Because like you just said, if Tom was quiet when he first joined and, you know, now you're doing bike rides, you're picking up golf, you're working I mean, that's just, you know, inspirational, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
they're all the positive steps, aren't they, to living well.
And when Fran's on a podcast interviewing someone medical, I'm just sat there going, oh my God, like, how are you managing to like interview this person to such a high level? Like, we were so lucky to have you and like your background of nursing, because how much you've committed to the podcast has been since day one, and you are the star of TikTok, as you know.
She's famous.
She's famous.
I just really enjoy it. It's just something out of my comfort zone. I was saying this to Cherylnn on the way because she was a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
And I said, Cherylnn, I would never in a million years have done this.
No, me.
Because it's just, and I think I've said it before on the podcast, I just couldn't have thought that I would do something like that. And it's just been so much fun and so interesting, and getting other people's views, like the music bloke, I can't remember his name, we had on the last podcast.
Yeah.
That was, you know, when you see these people out there doing something for us and they're really committed, it's just amazing. And it makes me think, oh, well, there is people who want to help us. And there's so many, but it's just enlightening, and it gives you the initiative then, doesn't it, to go off and think, oh, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
Or I'll do that.
Well, I think you can do anything you want, really.
I'll look into that, yeah.
Just because you've got an illness doesn't mean it's got to stop you.
But sometimes you forget to do it, don't you? You forget. You think, what was I doing?
Walk in the kitchen and forget what you're going in for.
Yeah. Well, we've talked before about neuroplasticity, if you remember.
Yeah, I was telling
Educate me.
On the way
oh, right, okay.
I said, oh.
and a lot of that it's a lot of new research, really, the last 20, 30 years about how through your behaviours and through your thoughts, through your actions, through your diet, through all sorts of different things, you can change the makeup of your brain. And I guess that this guy, when he's written a book about reversing Alzheimer's, it's all that same idea of like how through behaviour change and can you actually, you know, affect the trajectory of your brain. And when that comes to neurodegenerative diseases, obviously that's even more important. And it was only last year that The Lancet, which is like this big American journal, said that 50% of dementias are preventable. So 50%, I mean, that's like a staggeringly huge number to me.
It is,
Yeah, it's massive.
What would you do in the fact, though, that you get footballers, rugby players, or people who are basically as fit as fiddles because of the job they do, yet they are more prone because they keep banging their head
impact,
or headballing or... So...
Well, that would be a question, wouldn't it? Is that preventable?
Yeah,
is that part of the 50% where it's caused by contact?
Yeah.
Is that actually preventable? Because
No, I wouldn't.
Or did
Well,
they,
it's
or were
preventable
they-
because don't head
Yeah.
the ball.
Yeah.
yeah, or were they predisposed to it before,
Mm.
and that's just brought it on a bit quicker. You
So-
don't know, do you?
No.
No.
And if there's any experts out there listening who want to come on and talk about that, then and
Yeah.
we can look for that, and
Yeah.
hopefully we're going to start doing this a lot more regularly. Try and release it at least in the UK at like 7 p.m. every Monday every week,
Right.
so that it becomes like a bit of a
We'll be
thing
like
that everyone-
EastEnders.
Then you
Exactly, yeah. And I think that whole behaviour change thing, I'm definitely interested. Like, well, 7 years ago, I started to get alopecia on because I used to have really long hair and a
Yeah.
beard.
Did you?
Yeah, like really long. And then I started to get alopecia on my beard, and over the period of about 3 years, like literally lost all of my hair. So about 3.5 years ago, I had no hair left.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to get a little bit, well, quite a bit back,
yeah.
compared to where I was. And that's all through behaviour change, through like
Yeah.
changing my diet, not eating gluten, exercise, like cold showers, cold baths.
Oh, I couldn't have a
breathing.
cold shower. Oh.
And so I think I've but I've also realised how hard it was, because it took me
Yeah.
4 or 5 years, I would say, to really change all the behaviours that I needed to give my hair the best chance of coming back.
Yeah.
But because it was like a bit soul destroying to lose your hair and confidence and all
yeah.
that at the time, it's like that was like a huge driver. And I hope that like through what I've learned and how hard it is, that'll be a huge part of the show. Is like, how can we make it easier, or how can we get it into people's lives because even Dr. Ivan, who was episode 3, I think, and it really stood out to me from season 1 when he said behaviour change is hard no matter what age you are.
Yeah.
That really
That's
stood
true.
out. And so
Yeah.
it's like all well and good that you write, this guy's writing this book and saying you can reverse this and that there's neuroplasticity, but actual behaviour change day to day for anyone, and it actually becomes harder as you get a bit older.
It's habits, isn't it?
Yeah.
bad habits most of the time.
Yeah. And it's changing them habits, and
Yeah,
it's
it is.
difficult
Yeah.
sometimes, isn't it? For some people as well.
Yeah. I think it's hard for anyone, and that
I
was
eat too much chocolate.
well, I was
I'll
going
have
to
to
talk
stop
to you
doing
about
that.
that, Fran.
You can
Well,
never
yeah.
have too much chocolate, can you?
I was going to talk to you about that, because the first thing that he says, if you held a gun to my head and said, what is the one thing that you can do that you would recommend out of anything to do to help your cognitive health and to stop, neurodegeneration or whatever, it's don't have sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You said that, didn't you, the other week? Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like shocked by that. That was like his number one thing, because I thought it would have been about community and conversation.
Yeah.
But he was
Yeah.
like sugar is just like awful. And obviously that's his opinion. But there is a lot of people who do agree that like sugar is like the
Healthy
devil.
body, healthy mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Too late for me then.
Do you eat a lot of sugar as well?
No, not really.
No.
I like dark chocolate. That's about it.
Well, I've only
supposed to
gone
be quite good
since I've had dementia and Alzheimer's
Really?
into sweet things. I was never, I wasn't fussed whether I had a sweet or a piece of chocolate forever and a day.
Yeah.
And then as I've grown into this, I've got a sense of if I see something like cake or chocolate or something, I've got to,
Gotta have it.
and I can't just have a little piece of chocolate, I've got to have a big piece. Do you know, it's and I never used to do that. But I'm trying to curb it down now again. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to do alternatives. And with Frank at the moment, we're changing our diet into,
Brilliant.
like fresher food and just basically looking at what's okay that would treat Frank or make him feel better or might actually delay things.
Yeah. So on episode 1, Stephen talked about
Yeah.
a podcast from like a really well-respected person, because Stephen, I don't know if you remember that episode, but both of his parents got dementia and he's just turned 50. So he really looked into, this is 5 years ago now, everything that he could do to not get it, because obviously he's worried that because both parents had it, he might get it. And he was talking about like olive oil and fatty fish and blueberries. And ever since then, I don't have butter on toast. I have extra virgin olive oil, because apparently that's supposed to be really good and so much more better for you. And now that I've got that like taste for it, I actually really enjoy it.
Like
But
it,
because I had to give up bread and cakes and all that when I stopped eating gluten. And it was like, how am I going to do this? Like, because it was such a big part of my diet. And it is really hard, those initial phases. But if you're motivated enough and you've got the right support,
you can do anything, can't you?
You can do anything, exactly, yeah. So yeah, I think it's like, that's what we, every week we're going to be checking on your sugar intake, basically. Sorry.
They have olive oil shots, don't they? I've seen that when I've been looking up at stuff for us, for our changing our diet.
Apparently it's really good for cognitive health and stuff like that. So they're all the things that we'll be looking into, and trying to just talk openly about and see what we can do to discuss how hard it is, and then to see how we get on.
Yeah.
Because I'm obviously interested in preventing dementia as well, because turns out my granddad had it. I've got ADHD, which means I've got a higher risk. So like, I'm absolutely interested. I know that your granddad had it as well, Cherylnn, didn't?
Yeah, my granddad's got a dementia now, yeah. He's still with us. And my dad was diagnosed in his early 60s, yeah.
And your dad was a boxer, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
So was that, what you're saying with your granddad now, was it hereditary, or was it because your dad boxed?
It'd be hard to say, wouldn't
That's
it?
what I'm
Because
saying,
he obviously in the boxing field, he would have had a couple of hits to the head, and whether that, like you said, contributed to that.
Yeah.
And then me granddad, which is on my mum's side, he's got a vascular dementia.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I've got vascular, and I think when you talk as well as the Alzheimer's, but what I think is, what you're saying is my mum has high cholesterol. I've always had high cholesterol. Is that hereditary, or was it because of diet, or I don't know. I really don't know, but that's part and parcel of the vascular disease. So it's just, to me, it's pot luck, isn't it? I don't know. And I don't know whether, even when I've gone on a proper diet and done everything, my cholesterol is still high.
Really?
So it's difficult, isn't it, to think, is it that, or was it that, or did he eat that?
That's it. And the thing is, it's all like risk factors. They're not saying like, do this, and then you won't get dementia.
Yeah.
It's all about like lowering your risk factor.
Yeah.
And then if you have been diagnosed or in mild cognitive decline, then it's all about how do you do the best to fight the neurodegeneration that's going on. And there's so much research about it, but to take it all in, I mean, I'm like 2.5 years into trying to learn about all this stuff, and I still feel like
there's so much, isn't there?
Oh my God.
There's a lot. We're all learning every single day, aren't we?
Yeah. You see something and you think, oh yeah, I know that, and then I'll just have a little look at that, and then that goes off, and then
another tangent.
You must know more than anything, Cherylnn, because of the job that you're in. I never dealt a lot with people who had dementia, or it wasn't recognised at that time. But there's so many factors, isn't there, and stuff, and I've forgotten what I'm saying. So I'm not going to rattle on.
I work with some really, really good consultants who are really good. So when I do have questions, no questions too silly, she'll explain everything to me, draw me diagrams if she
I think
wants
that's
to.
because you're so enthusiastic. And I think that's what we're saying about people looking after us who have got that initiative, and they're so
driven.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Driven, yeah.
Yeah, so driven, And it's just, it's a pleasure to when I first met you, when you came to our house, and it was like a light went on, because someone who knew what they were doing and what they were saying, and they were empathic and everything else with it. It was just like, oh, great.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no, it was, Cherylnn, and I think everyone in the group would say that. It's got, like you've got a mate, a dementia mate, but you haven't got dementia. Isn't it? That's what it's like. Yeah. And it's Farband.
It's a nice way to describe me, friend. Like a dementia mate.
And Frida and everyone else, and all your mate Jean, and all those people who, are just... You've just got to have them people about, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, this is great, but you also need the people who can, what's that word I'm looking for? Who can explain it to you and
guide.
Yeah, that's it.
Rather than using the big words and all the jargon that they use, just simplifying things.
Yeah.
Is that why you started the group, because of your family, or is that why you got interested in dementia, because of your family history, or was it something else?
Partly, yeah. So when I joined the team that I'm in, there was a role there, and I took an interest in that role. My manager had asked me if I would be interested. I said yes, and then when I started doing that role, I noticed that there was not much for younger people that were diagnosed. So there's lots and lots of support groups that people can attend. You know, they can get in touch with like the Alzheimer's Society, and they'll tell you where to go and direct you to cafes and things and support groups. But for someone who's a lot younger to go to one of those groups, they're sitting with people older. So that's what initially I was thinking about, and how I had those conversations then with Sedgemoor to see if we could get the group started. I wrote to all of my patients and invited people to say, come along and tell us what you want from a group. So rather than me setting it up and saying, this is what we're going to do, people turned up and they told us what they wanted, and they wanted some practical advice. So we agreed, you know, we'd have a month where we'd have a speaker who'd come and give them some practical advice. And then we'd have a month where it would be a little bit more relaxed, and we'd have tea, coffee, cake and a natter, and just really enjoy that connection with each other.
Meeting the other people, isn't it?
Yeah,
Tom,
great.
you just
It
and the other thing that for me that stands out with it is that it's not just about us, it's about the carer, and to me that's a big issue. It always has been, really. And you see people come in. I seen one particular bloke who come in with his wife, and he was just absolutely floored. And he couldn't...
Exhausted.
Yeah. He was agitated. He was... and now he's just a breath of fresh air again, because he's being looked after, and his wife's being looked after, and the whole family. You know, it's just... I just remember sitting there with him, and he was just broken, basically.
Yeah.
And the likes of Sedgemoor and the people who he deals with have put him together. Not completely, because you never completely...
But having that group and knowing that his wife also had somebody to talk to, and then he had other people in similar situations that he could talk to.
Yeah, and he attends other groups that we go to sometimes, but you just see the difference in him. Is amazing.
Yeah.
I think carers get forgotten, don't they?
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, they're in the background.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be centred on the person with the illness.
Yeah.
And the carer's just forgotten about.
The girl who was on, I don't know whether you've seen it yesterday on Channel 5, they had a section on Alzheimer's and dementia, and there was a lady from Alzheimer's and a young, she was lovely. She'd gone to look after her nan, because, and the rest of the family. But she said, it's been amazing. She said, it's difficult. She said, not saying it's not difficult. She said, but my nan is now gone back to like being a child. She said, so we have so much fun. And then it showed you all the pictures where she took her to a Halloween night. She'd done this with her, done everything with her. And it was just amazing. I thought, how amazing is that for a young person to have took that on. She took it on a few years ago. And the nan was great. Because
the story she would have been able to tell her would have been amazing.
She said
getting the photo album out and going through.
Yeah. So there is so much good out there, isn't there? And
I think if you go looking for it, because what I've been surprised about is like when you look at the numbers of what it says in terms of people being diagnosed with dementia and even young onset dementia, even just if we look at Liverpool City region where we are, but then you see the attendance. I think a lot of people maybe shy away from community and groups who are basically think, oh, it's not for me, or I don't want to deal with it in that way. Whereas
I think a lot of people are worried as well, aren't they, if they come to a support group, of what their perception is of that group. So when I go out to see patients, I tell them to come along, and if it's not for them, it's not for them, and it might be in the future.
Yeah.
But I try and tell them, you know, it's a good group. We're really supportive. You'll get to meet friends.
Yeah.
The family can come along. It's not just for the patient, it's for the family as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing at that bloke at Christmas who got in the sumo
The sumo suit.
The family are dead. They were lovely, weren't they?
Yeah.
And they were so much fun.
So that was it. That's great. So we Christmas time we invited someone in, didn't we? And we played bingo, and we got some really nice prizes for that, and then some really funny ones. And one of them was a blow up sumo suit.
Yeah.
But the son went out and got dressed
And
up
he put it on, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's part of a really strong message that we want to get out with this is like, okay, it might not feel comfortable at first, or you might be scared, or you might not feel like you, Tom, you might say, oh, I'm not sociable, I don't want to go to a group or whatever. Yeah. But actually what it can give you and how it can bring
changed, didn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. What it can give you, that community around you is just unbelievably powerful.
I went to a group in Ellesmere Port, and it was all I'd done all night was play pool, and I don't like pool, but never done anything.
Yeah,
never like Sedgemoor, you sit around have a natter, don't you? We've never done that there. That's what you need to talk to people. I mean, especially carers need to talk to other carers and see what's going on, don't they?
Yeah, and to feel supported and less lonely. So that the whole point is that everyone feels less lonely in the journey, and that social isolation loneliness is if you are experiencing that, either the carer or the person diagnosed, then it's not going to go as well as it could if you feel supported and you don't feel as lonely and you feel like there's other people around. So, yeah, hopefully we can help with some of that as we grow the audience and grow the listenership and do what we want to do with our company, which we'll talk about at some point as well. Cool.
We'll have to be influencers.
Well, you already are. You're famous on
I'm not.
Bad influence.
Awesome. So we'll take a quick break there and then we'll come back and then we're going to interview the lovely Cherylnn properly and hear all about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Welcome back, everyone. And so we're going to interview Cherylnn. Well, Fran and Tom are anyway. And
you'll be okay.
You're nervous, aren't you? But it's fine.
Just a bit.
It's fine. Do you want to formally introduce yourself in terms of your role and all that type of stuff? And
yeah. So I'm Cherylnn Harper, and I am the young onset dementia nurse working for the CMHT in Liverpool.
Brilliant. And also the founder.
Yeah, and the founder of the Sedgemoor Young Onset Dementia Group.
Brilliant. Fran, take it away.
Hello, Cheryl.
Hi, Fran.
What I was wanting to ask you, we have discussed it before, but a little bit more in depth about what actually inspired you to create the Young Onset Dementia Group. Was it a particular person? Was it something you've seen a big gap in or a need for people?
Yeah, so I think I said a little bit earlier on that when I started doing the role, I'd noticed that, like I said, there's lots and lots of support out there. But I was going to see people, and when they were telling me about going to support groups, they were sitting with people that were quite a bit older than them.
Yeah.
So it wasn't quite suitable. So having a think about what we could do and having a conversation with my manager and Sedgemoor, we agreed to see if we could get a group set up. We didn't think that it would still be going on 3 years later, but it's worked really well. It's been great getting that group together and that sense of connection with everybody. I think, the families and the patients knowing how much it means to them keeps me going really with that group.
And in the early stages, what was it that kept you going?
I think just seeing the benefit from it. So people like Fran, you was one of our first people that came to that group to tell us what you wanted.
And I was daunted because I'd not long been diagnosed, so it was quite daunting really, and all I knew was older people who had dementia. I hadn't really seen younger people with it.
Yeah. I think there was like a small handful of people that came along, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And then that's when we asked what people would really like from a support group. That's when you guys told me it was like practical support and also to have a bit of fun with it as well. And, so from there, it was just making connections and seeing who could come and give us the advice and what support's out there, and particularly for people who are a lot younger.
And it's really useful, isn't it? Because a lot of us are in, like, sort of, we don't know which way to go, which way to turn, what we're supposed to be doing. I don't know whether you found that, Tom and Marion. You just don't know who to contact next or where to go. You need signposting, and I think
it's like a blind alley, isn't it?
That is signposting us to other places to go to with these people that you have who we're talking of on a monthly basis, and some have come back, haven't they? Because talk again because.
Yeah, we've invited
us
them
loads
every
of
year, haven't
insight.
we? Yeah, the same sort of people. But it's the needs are very different, aren't they, for someone a lot younger?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, and the needs are there more for, I'm not saying carers who are nursing or looking after older people is much different, but when you've got someone young in your family, because I know on our thing we've got much younger people now who are in the late 50s, and for a family, a mum and dad and sisters and brothers, it must be really difficult. And I think with the Sedgemoor group coming along like it had, that has given those people a bit of hope for their child or for the grown up adult, because that's not something you expect, is it, as a parent?
No, I think, getting a diagnosis older, you're retired, aren't you? When you're a lot younger, you're still working, you've got young families, like you said, Fran, to look after, you've still got mortgages to pay. So that's where the needs differ.
Yeah, definitely. So going back to what we were talking about again before, about the participation in the group, I mean, that is, and how it changes people's lives.
Sorry. Can we go with Tom's question next?
Oh, sorry. I didn't know whether I thought I asked to ask the whole 5 at once.
No, yeah. So it's like, sorry, we can cut this bit. It's fine.
There we go.
It's just
then.
like,
You don't have to.
Yeah, that's true. Just leave it in.
Yeah.
Okay then. Can you talk us through what have you done in the group, the kind of support and activities people respond to most?
Yeah, I think, again, the group is built on connection, isn't it? Seeing people thriving from that group, making friends outside the group. I know there was a particular time you met somebody in the group, Fran, who you went for a coffee with outside of that group, and it sort of organised the first couple of times, and then you was able to do that independently. And just seeing that in itself is just rewarding for me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Me next.
Yeah.
Which one?
This is the first time we've ever had to have scripted questions.
Yeah, we just natter usually.
Because,
Which one am I in, this one?
You're on number 2, yeah. Because Cherylnn, obviously you work for Mersey Care, so we've got to be like prim and proper and organised for the first time, and we're not used to it, are we? Normally we're just having a chat. But you crack
professional hat on.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Question
crack
2 for me. Go for it. We could do with them cards, couldn't we?
I know. Sorry. We'll get them for next time.
It's all right. So we discussed it before about what you've seen in the group and the participation that changes people's lives. And I think we've gone over that a little bit as well. But what's been the main thing that you've noticed about the change in people?
Probably the positivity. People, like I was saying earlier, people will come to the group and they're a little bit shy, or they're not sure what to expect. And I know Marion was just telling me earlier that when she first came with Tom, he didn't want to come, and he was a bit worried about what it was going to look like for him. And then on the drive home, she said he turned around and said, "I can't wait for the next group." And it was because of that, the atmosphere and the feeling welcome to the group from the off. Really.
Well, the minute I walked in, I felt welcome, happy. So, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, what a happy group. I'm normally, I'm not so professional. I don't go in my uniform. I'm in my own clothes. I've normally just come straight to the group from a run, from a park run.
And
well, you
you're
guys
giving
are all
up your Saturdays once a month for free, aren't you? Like you're not getting paid, like you just did it all off your own back and giving up
In
your
the
own
beginning,
time.
yeah. The beginning, we'd done it, and as that. So
amazing.
I think it's because everyone is so glad to be there.
Yeah,
Aren't
it's
they-
just
aren't you,
lovely,
Tom?
isn't it?
Well,
It's
as soon as you
very-
walk through the door, you're made
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no pretense. It's just people who are coming along who have had devastating diagnoses, but we just all, you don't even think about it when you're there.
Yeah, you just get on,
even though
don't
you're
you?
talking about it.
Yeah.
I love that people feel comfortable from the off to be
Yeah.
able
Yeah.
to ask questions that
Yeah.
they might be necessarily a bit more hesitant to ask.
Yeah.
But people tend to still ask those questions openly in the group.
And you travel a long way, don't you, Tom, to get
Yeah. We've Ellesmere Port.
there? Ellesmere.
But I'm just there to keep Marion awake while she's driving. She tells me to shut up when she's driving. But I don't.
I wonder why.
I'm always singing. Yeah, we come from Ellesmere Port over
45, 50-minute drive, is it?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. So you put in a lot of effort to get there
Yeah.
and get back, and I think
Well,
that's
it's worth the effort.
Yeah.
It is. To feel good in yourself and to see other people feeling well.
Yeah,
It's really worth the effort.
And I think that's what definitely getting across to like listeners who might live in a remote area
Yeah.
or, feel like there's not a lot or look at something and, oh God, it's an hour away or whatever. But actually what you can get out of finding a community.
I don't think there's enough advertised really for people with young onset where they can go and who they can join in with.
Yeah.
We've been to one in Chester now, but that's just starting up. And that's not too bad.
I think that comment alone is the whole reason why I continue to do that group. It's so rewarding for me,
It is,
that
yeah, it
job
must be, yeah.
satisfaction as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As a nurse, that's something you just want, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just want to walk out, and you used to walk off the ward, or I'd walk off the ward, and I know I'd done a good job that day, and I'd done something that was really
Meaningful.
important, and meaningful.
Yeah.
And if you can walk away like that, it's a good experience, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a good feeling.
It's a good feeling for us.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Your turn.
My turn. Oh, God. You've run marathons to fundraise. How has this fundraising helped build the community and raise awareness?
I've run a couple of half marathons now, but that was my first half marathon in Liverpool.
Wow.
And it was absolutely amazing. So I've got a small group of friends that I run with. So they all know about my role and what it entails. And then, it's nice to be able to make people aware. One of my really good friends had said that she didn't know that young people could get dementia. And she'd not particularly heard of it before. So I had lots of questions for me. And it was only the other day she sent me an Instagram post and said, this is why you do what you do. And it was a really, really nice post about looking after someone with dementia. So that was quite thoughtful. And yeah, the half marathon, I think, is probably one of my proudest moments when I got to the end of that and just heard Cherylnn. And as I turned round, there was a few of yous all standing there waiting for me to pass the finish line. I think I just burst out into tears, didn't I? Because it was just so overwhelming, because I thought, whose patients turn up and stand for hours not knowing how long it's going to take me to run this half marathon and wait for me to cross that finish line. It was lovely.
Didn't you meet Marion and Tom on a
No, I wasn't there. I don't run.
No,
race
so I
or something?
so Merseycare does like fun games, don't they, every year? And they had an event where they were doing a 5K. And so I went along to that 5K to run it, and Marion was there with a friend, and I was just standing there on my own, and Marion came over and was chatting to me. And then that's when she asked me what my role was and where I worked and stuff, and I was telling her. That's when she was like, oh my God, my husband's just been diagnosed with a young onset dementia. So we got chatting, and then I told her about the group. And then that's how Tom and Marion then came along to the group, and have been coming since. Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Brilliant. So what practical and everyday tips would you give to like myself and Tom and the families or even in your workplace, not so much in Sedgemoor, What do you do when, say, you get someone who comes in who's first diagnosed and the family and that? What tips and...
I usually tell people to still do the things that they do, and, you know, things that they enjoy, keep them the routines, the consistency, you know, if things are a little bit of a struggle, to break them down into smaller tasks, but to still do them and still try. And I'd say to the families, you know, try not to take over, because sometimes families will automatically want to take over that role, that caring role, and do everything for them. And then that can be frustrating for the patient who can still do that and still wants to do that. So I try and get, you know, people to stay positive, still do the things, try and learn new skills, do things that you enjoy, you golfing and things like
definitely.
that.
I'm no good at it, but I still enjoy it. A bit of fresh air in it, a walk.
Yeah.
But if that's what you get some enjoyment from, then
All right.
I think, and I've mentioned it before on the podcast, is when I think I'd maybe been diagnosed a year or 2 years, I can't remember now, but they asked me would I do a research, one of the professors or something from the Liverpool Uni, and that was doing some research on people who had dementia and Alzheimer's, and I said, yeah, I'll do that. And it was one of the best things I ever done, because it was all about getting up of a morning, planning what I was doing, what stopped me from doing it, how did I get over that? And it was just basically every day I'd done that, and I wrote it all up every day. And it gave me more encouragement every day to think, oh, right, what can I do tomorrow?
Yeah.
I remember that. And part of it was what you'd done yesterday and how you felt about that, or where you went and how it made you feel and whether it was good, and then reflecting on that.
Yeah. That's what it was, It's like reflecting. And it was brilliant, and that's what really helped me. And that's what kept me. Even now, you know, say I go out, I think, oh, I'm not doing that. And then think, yes, I am.
It's
if
almost
I want
like
to keep my brain going, I've got to do these things. It might be a little thing like putting, when I've read a book, going upstairs and putting it in the bookshelf rather than just leaving it lying around. Just things where I'll get up, go up the stairs, go and put the book away, you know, come back down and then start looking at what book I'm going to read next or something, rather than just, they're only little things, but it keeps me
just going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'd heard something similar from a neuroscientist about ADHD and about reflecting on the day before and reflecting on why you were there. And I do it as part of like my morning routine when I'm doing these breathing exercises. And it's helped me be more present and have a better memory.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
Because I used to find sugar in the fridge and all sorts of like mad things, because I'm just like, if I'm thinking about something else, what I'm doing with my hands could be totally different. Yeah, and so, but since doing that and trying to reflect, and I'm not saying I do it every day, but for periods I've done it for a long time, by reflecting on the day before, I definitely have sensed my memory improve, because you're like more reflecting on what's happened and how you felt, and big part of it was why you were there, like why were you doing what you were doing, and then how did it make you feel and stuff. I think that's really interesting, like the whole reflection aspect of
making you think about what you
exactly
what your task was,
and then that's helped me with changing my behaviour when it comes to routine and reflecting on that and stuff.
That's why I like going to work, because it's a routine for me. Getting up, going up there, doing it, coming home.
It gives you something to do, doesn't it?
Keeps me mind going.
I have a diary.
You know, it's great that you can still go to work. That's fantastic.
That's what Marion says. She likes the
people
money.
Can still go to work. Life doesn't have to stop after a diagnosis.
No, it doesn't.
You know,
you can do anything.
Do you talk about sleep routines much, and sleep and that aspect side of stuff?
Yeah, so obviously sleep hygiene is very, very important, and getting enough sleep. A lot of people struggle with sleep, don't they? So
I did.
It's you know, no telly, no phones. You know, sleeping in dark, to try not to have a TV in the room, all of that type of thing, and have a good nighttime routine to get a good night's sleep.
I think that's definitely one expert I'm really keen to get in, is someone who like lives and breathes sleep.
Yeah.
Because I think so many people are struggling with it these days, whether you've got dementia or not, aren't you? Because the whole switch.
I can sleep anytime. I mean, if I come home from work and I just go to bed if I felt like it.
Really?
I am really tired when I come home, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always good in the morning. Afternoons, I'm no good for anything.
Yeah. And you find it easy to get to sleep in the
Yeah,
night
yeah.
as well.
Easy, yeah.
How about you, Fran? Do you find it easy to get to sleep?
Not really, no. I take a sleeping tablet now. Only a very small dose. And before that, I just wasn't getting to sleep until 5 o'clock in the morning and
Oh, wow.
stuff like that. Put my head down and I couldn't. It wasn't even that I was thinking loads of things. I was just not sleeping, basically. And it was just not I'd always had a job where I was up early, bed early, up early, stuff like that. And I know my routine had gone and it had changed. But it wasn't anything to do with that, really. I just couldn't go to sleep. Now I'll have days, like you were saying, I'll have days now where I can sleep the clock around. I'll get up and then I'll sleep again till 3 or 4 o'clock. Nothing to do with the tablet because it's only a very small dose and that just gets me through the few hours in the night. And I wouldn't up the dose or anything like that. But it's just, you're tired.
Oh, certainly.
There's nothing you can do about it. You just, your eyes are heavy, aren't they? And you just like, you just go to sleep. But that doesn't happen with me overnight.
Oh, it does with me. I just head on
Yeah.
the pillow and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Me too. I love sleep. Everyone that knows me knows
You
I
two
love
are
sleep.
working hard, that's
It's
why.
the best place to relax in bed.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it?
I think it's mine, I think.
Is it yours? I
There
don't
we
know.
go. What's the most common misconception about young onset dementia you'd like to correct?
Okay, so first and foremost, that dementia is not just an old person's disease. We know from this podcast particularly that people younger can get diagnosed. And people often think it's just about memory. And it's not just memory. It could be everything, our thinking skills, our fine motor skills, our language, our personality, our behaviours, all those things can be affected.
It's physical as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's physical issues with it that people don't realise that you can get. And that's like, I've got spatial awareness and things like that are just...
How do you fit all this
Never had
into
that.
your initial conversations? I'm just thinking now, like,
I know, yeah.
Wow. Because, I mean, we've done 10 episodes. I mean, we're still only scratching the surface because everyone's so unique in their symptoms and stuff.
So, when I go out to see someone on my first visit, it can be quite overwhelming. So I don't want to sit and just talk at somebody.
Yeah.
I like to get to know them, make sure that they feel comfortable with me. Like you said, Fran, you felt like I was just a friend without a diagnosis. And then I visit them more than once. So I'll go to somebody's home and I'll get to know, we'll build a therapeutic relationship. And over that period of time, they'll have questions for me and then I can answer those questions. Sometimes I don't always know the answer, but I'll certainly go back and I'll ask my consultant who I work with.
Yeah.
Because, she's amazing. Or I'll ask my manager or I'll ask one of the psychologists. We're a massive team. So we do have good resources and I will go and find that information out and bring it back to them or signpost if needed.
Do you ever find anyone reticent to engage with you or doesn't want to ask questions and wants to just leave me alone type thing? I'll just get on with it. Or do you ever find that?
You're going to find people who are in denial, and particularly when we are a lot younger, it is hard to come to terms with something like that. But again, it's about how we engage with that person and getting to know them as a person, as an individual. I can't. If I went to Fran's house, I would treat her in the same way, but differently in some respects to how I would with somebody else.
Because individual,
we're all individual, and it's how we build those relationships with them. Building that trust, isn't it? And sometimes it might be that we don't discuss a memory issue, and I've come round to have a cup of tea and a chat and make them feel comfortable, and eventually that person may open up to me.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because there's a lot...
Picking up the signs, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what's really good about my role, is having those face-to-face.
Yeah.
You can have a telephone conversation, but you're never really going to be able to the face-to-face is a lot better, isn't it? You can see if somebody's upset, you can visibly see that, or you can visibly see if you're making somebody feel uncomfortable, so you'd be able to step back a little bit and say, okay, let's change the subject, or let's talk about something that you want to talk about. It's the same with, when I go out and meet somebody, I'm quite a nosy person anyway. So I like to know like everything. I talk about like the childhood, where they grew up, who they lived with, what school they went to, the names of the siblings. And plus that's all also really good to have in a plan for future reference, so that you can
just laugh and I can do that on the bus. Sit next to someone and do with life history.
And what would you say to someone who's maybe a caregiver who the person that they're trying to support is in a lot of denial? What advice would you give to them? Because you seem to have obviously had to experience it. What advice would you give to them?
I think it's education, isn't it? So it's trying to educate somebody about the diagnosis. Again, we're really lucky. We have post-diagnostic support groups, which we can invite people to, and their educational sessions that are on. It's our nurses and our psychologists and our staff that provide those sessions. So
seek support from the medical profession if you're that caregiver on how to maybe navigate that denial. Yeah,
I mean, if I feel that I can sort of support that person, then I will as best as I can. But sometimes if you're the person that's always a bit too close, you need to take a little step back and let somebody else see if because you're not going to have those relationships with everybody, are you? So
yeah, I think the denial's like something that I never even considered before.
I was like that for a bit.
Yeah,
I thought, I don't feel like I've got dementia. I can still do things I used to do.
Yeah.
And I think the last 18 months, I thought, I have got it. I must have it. I'm falling apart, I think. But yeah, I was like that for ages. Didn't think I had dementia.
Yeah, I think sometimes as well, like the caregiver, as you said, will sometimes think, well, it's normal. They're getting a little bit older, so they're going to be a little bit more forgetful. So that's where that education comes in to say, well, it's not a normal aging process.
Yeah. And the denial for you, Tom, was it only your partner Marion who was sort of saying that there was issues, or did other people say to you? Or
if it wasn't for Marion, I wouldn't have been diagnosed. She dragged me to the doctors and we'd sort it from there.
Yeah.
But even then, I thought to myself, because I was so young when I was 55, I wouldn't have it. And I could, like I said, I could still do things I could normally do, but it was my personality that changed completely. And that's what happened with me. But yeah, in denial, really, I was.
Yeah.
It's getting used to it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. But I've got a little bit worse now, I think. Well, according to the scan I had last time, I've got a little bit worse.
Oh, that's right, you said, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you up your medication?
Yeah.
So you decided to take up golf. I love it.
Yeah.
It's your son's fault. Blame
You're
him.
going to whack that.
Well, like you said, and you've mentioned it before, because you do have dementia and maybe you don't care as much about what people think.
Yeah.
It's even more like you're happy to go and do golf because you don't care if someone sees you whacking it, which I do anyway, and I've played for years, like whacking it 50 yards left. You don't.
I can't even hit it.
It's that little ball, you got to take your temper out on it.
Yeah. We used to cut them up when we were kids because they're made up of elastic bands, aren't they?
There's a little
Golf
squidgy
balls.
ball in the middle, isn't there?
Yeah, and if you cut it open, it's just like
yeah. Back in the day, it was.
And if we
it was
found
that,
one,
yeah,
we
yeah,
used
yeah.
to go and then make an
That's how they
American
used to be
skipping
made,
rope
isn't it? Yeah.
with the elastic.
Right, whose question is it? Because I'm lost.
Me.
So, is it you?
Yeah.
Great, fantastic. I'm glad you're keeping tabs on what's going on.
We've talked about, Cheryl, how much you do, and you do a lot. There's no getting away from that. You've got a full-time job, you've got a family, you've got the Sedgemoor group. There's so much that you do. So how do you avoid burnout? Because I know as a nurse and the things that you take on and the things that you do, you can become burnt out after a while because you've there's that much pressure to do the job and get things done. And then there's other areas in your life that you want to do. And you have to put that in as well. So it's like a full 70-hour week or something. So how do you deal with that?
I think I've got a really good support network at home.
Yeah.
I've got, a great husband who supports me and understands, how passionate I am about my role.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, the team that I work in, my manager and the consultants that I work with are really, really good as well. And my manager supports me. We have that peer supervision. I just sometimes you thrive on being busy, don't you? It keeps you going.
You get a lot out of it, so
I think, that's the thing. If you're getting that job satisfaction, you want to be able to give more.
Yeah. So was it a little bit frustrating trying to set up the YOD then? When what you've just said, I've forgotten again what I've said.
In the beginning, you mean?
Yeah.
Like trying to get people to the group and making them aware of the group.
Yeah.
In all honesty, Frida's been fantastic. So Jean comes and they both support. So
your colleagues,
my colleagues. So if there's a time that I can't attend the groups in the summer when I was away, they will make sure that group still goes ahead.
Brilliant.
So having the support network around you really helps as well.
I think that's good because you don't worry when you're away, do you?
Yeah, because you can rely on your colleagues as well.
Going to look after it for you.
We've got a lovely little team. Yeah.
Great.
Are you interested? I was just interested to know, obviously with your dad and your granddad having it, have you been interested in prevention for yourself or?
Most definitely. It's definitely something that I've thought about and it's been, at the back of my mind. So again, trying a healthy body, healthy mind, going running, trying to eat healthy and also trying to promote that for my children as well so that they, want a healthy lifestyle, making sure I get enough sleep.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I think once you've been touched by it or you start to think about it and then you learn about all this 50% preventable and you're around it a lot, then you can start like young, can't you, to think about how you're living and what you can do to prevent it, but then also what you can do to live well if you have unlucky enough to be diagnosed.
It would be interesting, wouldn't it, to see from when the generation before me, they only ate certain things because that's all that was available. Now you go in a shop and there's that much ridiculous sweets, crisps, everything which is full of sugar, processed stuff. And so basically we are setting ourselves up. Not so much us. I mean, I got it anyway, so I don't know what went wrong there. But it's just, when you look at it now, it scares me when I see the things in the shops. And I think children don't really...
I think when you're young as well, you think you're invincible, don't you?
Yeah. But we only had one choice of something.
Yeah.
Whereas people now have multiple choices of crisps. If you go down an aisle, there must be 100 and odd different packets of crisps.
The percent in like a local
and sweets.
In a local supermarket store that's on all the high streets, what percent is like actual real whole foods?
Yeah.
Compared to what's crisps, chocolate, processed foods is like the percentage must be like what 10-20% is like real actual food, whereas I guess when you were growing up it was like 70-80% was actually real food, like a potato.
You'll have to try and get a good nutritionalist on.
Well exactly, that's absolutely part of the plan, like sleep, nutrition, all of that type of stuff, but then bringing it back into you guys and also the wider community. What can we do with people we have on who are, part of the group? And then how can we provide tools? And that's what we'll be looking at through the app as well. How can we make behaviour change easy? And how can we keep it also front of mind? So then at the end of this episode, we're going to do like a little reminiscence corner session, which we're going to do at the end of every episode, reflecting back on something from a previous episode and then just having a chat about it. And because it's really, behaviour change is hard, like we've said before today. It is hard.
It's habit, like Fran said, isn't it? It's trying to change a habit of a lifetime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've got this vision of like a leaderboard and like how much sugar Fran had in the last week. Just like do a graph of.
You don't want to know. Put it this way, take now and go out of business. I'm trying.
You are very good. Glad to
Very
hear
trying.
it. Very,
We really hope you're enjoying this podcast. We want this to be one of the best free resources for any family affected by dementia. With your help, we can build the biggest community in the world for supporting, guiding and comforting everyone who faces cognitive issues and the people around them. So please hit that subscribe button or share it with someone who needs it.
We hope you're enjoying listening to our podcasts.
If you'd like to come on the show,
You can get in touch with us
if you're a scientist or a health expert,
if you're living with dementia or you're supporting anyone with dementia.
then drop us a line.
You can email us on hello@fightingdementiapod.com. You'll go.
All right, can you tell us about a memorable, particular, rewarding or memorable moment from your work with the group that listeners might be inspired by?
Yeah. So again, I was talking to Fran on the way up here, and myself and a colleague, we'd done a specific CST. So CST stands for Cognitive Stimulation Therapy, and we provide that within our team. And we'd done a specific one for the younger group, didn't we, Fran? Because there was only a handful at the very beginning. We were able to do that, and there was a patient who used to come and was a bit quiet, didn't really speak, and that's only for the patient. So the families couldn't do the CST sessions, and halfway through, his personality just shone through.
Oh, he's so funny. He's like you.
He was hilarious. He was very witty, very sharp.
Yeah.
He was laughing at us. We were singing, and he was making comments on one of my colleagues singing. And
I've got a voice like a scratching pan.
And then even for his wife, who asked us if we could continue to do that every single week, because she'd noticed the difference, and she'd noticed that his personality had shone through in that group and been able to come to life from being quite quiet and subdued.
What's CST? Can you tell us more about it?
So it's cognitive stimulation therapy, and that's something that we provide. It's twice a week.
Right.
And each session aims to stimulate a different part of the brain, so to keep us stimulated. So there might be a childhood session where we'll talk about childhood, and we'll get our maps out and talk about where people grew up. But again, for younger people, it might be a little bit different, because an older CST session would be old money, an example. So like the shilling or the father or the half a crown and things like that, whereas the newer generation wouldn't necessarily remember or recall that. So that's why we done it specifically for the younger patients that came along to that group, and it was just absolutely fantastic. We all learned so much from each other.
Oh,
I've still got the book. Have you still got your booklet?
Yeah.
With all the pictures in? Yeah.
there's so much.
We'll have to show you, Leon.
Stuff, It was great, that.
It's amazing, all those
quizzes
stories.
and everything about things.
We did, yeah. But there's no right and wrong answers within it as well, so it's not going to catch anyone off guard or make anyone feel.
No, it's just fun.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice.
It's amazing what can happen. I remember we had the lady who does gymnastics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And she was Nicola, and she was talking about when she got someone who was hardly mobile swinging a golf club and going the driving range, and from nothing, from just doing some sessions, and then then they were out doing it regularly.
And the
Whereas
difference
before,
that made,
and the difference that it makes for someone, and that's why it's fascinating, but also so complicated with dementia, because once you can learn about all these things, or the playlist for life.
Yeah.
We learned so much on that episode. And it's like, if you can tailor your life, your behaviors, the things that you learn about around you, then it's amazing. Well, you're 8 years in, and look at what you're doing.
Still going.
Same with you, Fran.
Yeah.
It's like
and
amazing.
They're people who you've had on your podcast who we've invited to our YOD Sedgemoor group. So those people have been and spoke to you guys about things, and it's sharing their experiences and their knowledges with the group as well.
And that's what I hope we can do with this is put behaviour change, if you like to call it, or just always front and centre, so that people feel like together they're part of this community, so that even if they're not at Sedgemoor and the amazing things there, that they can still get a sense of what you can do and what you can look for to either improve your mood or to live many great years, because it's possible, isn't it? And we've seen seen that firsthand. It's amazing.
I'm going to live forever, I am. Just be annoying.
Right, I've got my last question for you, Cheryl.
Hit me with it.
It's okay. It's all about, people who are listening to this podcast. What would you recommend for people to do? Could they volunteer? Could there be support somewhere along the way that people would like to get involved with that? Is there a specific place where someone who wants to support someone with dementia, do they have to train up? Do they have to, or do they just have to come to wherever it is? Say like it was Sedgemoor or somewhere like that.
Yeah, I guess.
Or at home. Anything.
I guess it depends what area that people live in with regards to what support available for those people. But reaching out to those support groups is the first step, isn't it? And getting involved in the community. The Alzheimer's Society, contacting them, and they're normally really good at being able to advise what's available within their local community.
Yeah. It's the first steps, isn't it? Because when you're first diagnosed, you don't know what way to go, do you?
Yeah.
I don't know whether you felt like that, Tom. But
Well, Marion done most of it for me.
Yeah.
I was just out of it, really, I suppose. Wasn't interested. But Marion sorted it all out. It's really good.
I was a bit fortunate in one way, if you can say you're fortunate, because I was a nurse. And I knew there was something wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I knew that I had to get it looked at.
I think Marion knew there's something wrong with me.
Yeah. Frank did as I went along, Frank did. Or when initially I'd say, oh, such and such, I've done that today, or I've done this. And I wasn't really happy about that. And everyone would say, oh, it's all right, you've just been had a busy day. You're a bit stressed. But I knew that there was something that wasn't right. Yeah. So I was fortunate in that way that
and I think it's led
I just ploughed on.
It's led you to here, hasn't it? Being up for helping other people. And
definitely.
Doing this podcast, but also helping yourself and not feeling like you're going to sit in and do nothing. You're actually
I couldn't do that.
Do something about it, So.
I do have the odd days. There's no getting away
from
that.
You've got to have an odd day, haven't you, really?
Yeah, you have odd days, don't you?
Nothing like an odd day.
And you think, oh... And then you just get up the next day and think, well, that was yesterday.
Start all over again.
Good on you. To start again, yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming in, Cherylnn. You're an inspiration to lots of people.
Thank you.
Yeah, without you, none of this would have happened as well. So.
Oh, no.
Could be on my face burning now. Thank you very much.
You're a star.
It's been a pleasure.
And now we're going to do Reminiscence Corner. So we'll have a little break and then we'll come back for that.
A few years ago, I started to get a lot more interested in prevention. A lot of the evenings, I just felt like I had this brain fog. And I think combination of that and both parents having dementia. I mean, water is the biggest thing, like staying hydrated, that was number one. Number two was fatty fish or caviar.
Caviar,
because caviar is or fish eggs, very concentrated versions of what you get in salmon or even just tinned salmon, tinned anchovies, things like that, eaten on a regular basis. Berries was another one. Dark green, leafy veg. There's one more that I'll come back to in a second, but I started to, olive oil, that was the other one.
Oh, right.
So extra virgin olive oil.
Well done, must be working, you've remembered all five.
Yeah, that's good. If you'd asked me a few years ago, I'd have forgotten all those.
Cool. So welcome everyone. So at the end of every episode, we've said that we're going to do a Reminiscence Corner. And reminiscence therapy is the reason why we started the company behind the podcast, which it's proven to enhance cognitive function, improve emotional well-being, and also fight the progression of the disease. But reminiscence therapy is not really done. So part reminiscing is like we're going to pull up a clip from an old episode and just have a little chat about that clip and, what we think about it or what we've learned from it or whether it's, inspired any change. So, yeah, leafy greens, extra virgin olive oil, berries. And
Plenty
water.
of water.
So if we start with
Plenty of
water,
water,
so
yeah.
plenty of water is like hugely important. So I wondered if you guys focus on your water intake every day.
Not really.
I forget to drink. Do you, Tom?
Yeah.
I
That's
forget
why
to
we've
drink.
got Alexa at home.
Yeah.
Have a drink and whatever. Yeah.
I can go all day and I think, oh, God, I haven't had a drink today, or I haven't had
Really?
to drink a water, or something like that. Yeah.
And you've got Alexa running.
Yeah. Tells me when to drink and when to eat.
And is
When
that
to sleep.
Oh, okay. And is that every couple of hours or do you know?
Can't remember.
Not
The boss
sure.
would know.
Marion?
It's in the afternoon for the drink.
In the afternoon for the drink.
So it tells them at lunchtime to eat.
Nice.
1:15, have a nap.
Brilliant. So your
there you
day's
go.
planned out for you. Love it.
Yep. But whether taking a notice is another thing. Because sometimes I can be really stubborn and just.
So when you hear the water thing coming from Alexa, how often would you say you're like, oh yeah, I'll go and have a glass of water?
Most times I'll go and have a drink.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be water though.
Brilliant. So do we need to get you an Alexa, Fran?
No. I've got Frank. But I do put, or Frank will put water in the fridge for me because I only like cold water. I don't
Yeah.
like lukewarm water or
Yeah.
anything like that. And I'll still forget. Unless I go to the fridge
And see it.
and see it.
Yeah.
Then I'll think, oh, must have a
Interesting.
drink of water, but I'm not a big water drinker.
And how about oily fish?
Have mackerel now and again.
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what mackerel, salmon, and
Anchovies.
anchovies, caviar, like you said.
Yeah.
And there's another fish, but I can't remember. Like any oily fish. Do you have much of that at all?
Me?
You, yes.
No.
No.
Never
I
chocolate
used
fish.
to.
Okay.
I used to, and the kids will, and Frank will tell you, I used to love salmon
Mm-hmm.
and mackerel. And now the idea of it, I don't know whether that's what is part of this.
Mm.
Some
Cheryl-
of your taste buds
Cherylnn,
have changed.
I just cannot. Look, I feel like I'm going to balk now. I don't like the idea of it.
Caviar? No?
No.
Oh, I love fish.
Yeah.
I used to love
So I've
salmon.
started to eat a lot more fish.
I used
because
to
of all
love
this.
salmon.
Yeah.
Kellyanne and I'd have it all the time. But now I just think, I can't eat that.
Mm.
And mackerel, I used to love mackerel. I used to make it into like a pate and stuff like that. But yeah,
Is it the texture?
I don't know what it is, Cherylnn, but I can't eat it.
Yeah, can't.
Leafy green veg?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm only good with it now because of Frank, and I make him like kale, pak choy, is it?
Pak choy, yeah.
Or I make soups like that, so I've started eating them now. So
Great.
I'm doing all those things because there's a diet thing for people with particular diagnoses. So I'm doing that. So I'm on board with that as well now.
Nice.
Yeah.
How about extra virgin olive oil? Tom?
Yeah, I always cook in there. Mm.
I think we've used it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we go to Cyprus next month, we're going to get some.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So extra
Get
virgin
it in
olive oil is
Tesco.
supposed to be really.
I know,
really
but
good
we're going
for
to
you.
know there anyway. Got over there anyway, you see. So.
Mind you, it'll be cheaper in Cyprus.
Probably, yeah.
And on that note, I think that's a good little reminiscence corner for
Yeah.
talking about diet. And I think that's, again,
I'll
coming-
update you on the next one.
I can't wait.
I'll come in like this. I'll be so slim and everything.
Thanks for listening, everyone. And thanks to you, Marion.
Thank you, no problem.
Tom. Marion.
Thank you so
I
much.
called you Marion. Fran, Tom, and
It's
Cherylnn.
okay.
Thanks
Call
very
me
much.
Maddie.
All right.
Thanks, Marion, as well.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Oh,
Thanks.
thank you.
No problem.